Good morning. Welcome to today's weekly forecast. The aim of the game is to make money, and we've got to try and make money in this business. We must also develop a trading plan for us to make money, because what we do know is the back and forth movement, in this game. So we must be able to look at our structure and our wave to score it right, to know at what level we either want to buy a pullback or trade a pullback or continue with the trend. And where in the trend is safe to put our plug or to continue. The overall understanding of what is developing is what will guide us. And we have to take an informed decision on how to trade week in and week out. I think I did a video early in the week, that was last week, after the weekly forecast, and I said, from what I can see, I expect this is US dollar index to react around this level or at this level. So we are seeing reaction almost at this point here of resistance. Likewise, on the DXY actually reacted just before. I thought probably around this area we might get a reaction, or around this area, but even before we got to this resistance, DXY had put a plug to react. You can see the daily candle. So on the euro dollar, I think the reaction also occurred almost few pips before the level. And I said, it is not about the it's not about the level that matters really, but the internal work of the structure itself, or the wave. So you have to count the wave to look at this the way it's progressing. It broke this low, and I said it's going to break this. It broke it, and probably we have a reaction here, or around this area. It almost got here, few pips, and we have this reaction. So what it is now that we are seeing this as a wave one. We are seeing this as a wave A. We are seeing this in the middle as a wave B. A of B, B of B, and a C of B. And this is a flat in the middle. Now, if that is correct, because what we are seeing so far is a correction to this entire run. And if that is correct, we should be bouncing up. We should be bouncing up. Maybe not immediately. So, seeing this as an A and a B, sorry, A, then A of B, and B of B not getting to the end of the origin of here tells us, okay, this is like a zigzag pattern here in the middle, like a zigzag pattern here in the middle, or an extended flat. But whatever it is, it looks like a B, A of B, B of B, and a C of B, and this is A. So if we do our retracement analysis or an extension from A to B, at least 100 or 123, it cannot be more than that for us to get a reaction to the downside before we eventually, go up. So what we are saying in essence is that we want to understand what is happening here and the next thing to do. So it's going to be the same on, let's look at US dollar index, because I don't want to, it's about the same in terms of, so it's about the same. So if we look at it, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's bring out our instruments. It's about the same. We are seeing that reaction now. So, and what that reaction means to us is what we have to, spell out what this reaction means. So if we go on the 4-hour time frame, or let's say on the 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, so we've got to see what that reaction is. So this is the area which was missed by a few pips. Now, on Euro and US dollar index, we are yet to break out of this. We are yet to break out of this trend channel now. We are yet to break out of this trend channel now. And we are taking this as a wave 1 here, a wave 2, and we thought we did a wave 4, a 3 and 4, but to me, it now looks as if wave 3 was extended here. Wave 3 has been extended here. So that's the way it looks now. So if wave 3 has been extended, we have been on green. So it means that an extension had occurred. The green will change its position the way it has gone up. Now, the 3 that we thought would have been completed here got extended. We thought this would be a 4 and a 4 and the last part of 5. And this is where everything occurred. And we knew that this is going to go further up. Now, it's only wave 3 that try to eat like this, the top of the resistance trend channel. So it's only wave 3. But if we had been in wave 5, it should be probably diverging towards the edge, like what we saw here. So we were expecting that we're going to get a reaction to drop, but it was extended. So that makes it that we are just completing a wave 3 in the green. So everything in the middle, you have to recount now. From here, the wave was actually extended here. Now, if you now think it's not that, it could either be a wave 4 of the current wave, or the entire run from here that we are doing. That's how to align yourself. So if let me try and bring this here, because we'll need it. This is where wave 2 is. What do we expect in a normal cycle? In a normal cycle, we expect to do a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and after a 5, we should do an ABC correction before another leg to the upside. This is US dollar index. That is what is expected normally. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5, then run an ABC to the downside. Now, this wave that is coming down could actually be a 4 to this, or a 4 of the internal structure here. So we're going to look at here, is it a 4 to this, or most likely it's going to be a 4 to this one. So let me zoom out. If we zoom out to count at least that this wave has ended itself from here, and we add this move, it's a correction, a deep correction. We are taught that this is a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, and that this is supposed to be a 5. So it only means that what they have done here is like these had been a 1, maybe a 1 and a 2 here, because this cannot be, the movement here cannot be a 2 to this movement here. So that means a structure was completed here. 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5 was completed here. And we had a correction, a deep correction here. Or we can say that this also can be like yeah, if you know, yes, we can say that this is a 3, and this is can be like a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and we can say a 5 probably was, you know, yes. So we can say probably this is like a 4 and this is like a 5 somewhere here. And before we add another move. This has finished a correction and this is a new move. So, or that we were expecting that this would be like a 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and this will be a 5, and this has been extended. So what we are going to look at, we want to decode this. So, but in terms of the new count, that is what we have to do now. We have to see this as a new count of 1 and a 2 here. And this can be taken as a 2 minor here. This is the second purple here. And this is a 1 here. And now we can take this as a 3. If you take this as a 3, and that we've not done, first we have to be sure that we have completed this one. And that's how they can manipulate structure here. They can manipulate structure here in such a way that you think that, oh, this is a 1 and this is a 2, this is a 3, and they will do a 4 and a 5. But is this correction to the downside still in line with like these two? Or what are we saying? That is one thing we have to be sure of, because they could have just as well done like a 3, a 4, and a 5 before they are trusting down. Let me see if I can show you that on a lower time frame so that you will see that. Let's look at 15 minutes time frame. So on a 15 minutes time frame, and this is what they can do. This one that came down could have as well been like a 4 and a 5 here. So that is the way it is. There have been a 4 and a 5, and they finished the whole thing here, and that this is a new correction. So we are seeing this as a new correction, and we are trying to also follow it in a channel of that correction to see what is going to happen. So let me quickly go back to maybe 1 hour. So going back to 1 hour, we are interested in this part. This move in relation to this, that we say this is 1, and this is a low, a 2 minor, what it is in terms of fib retracement from that top. This is where we're supposed to see a 38, and it's almost at what? At a 61.8. That shows me that this move down here, it's not a correction to this. It cannot be a correction to this. It cannot be a 4. That means they have finished the 4, and the whole 3 here is completed as 3, 4 and 5 in the purple. So probably the 3 should be somewhere around this area, and the 4 should be here, and the 4 in the purple should be somewhere here, and that 5 is completed. So the whole of this wave is completed, and what is now coming to the downside looks like a major 4, not to this, but based on what we have seen so far, that even 50% has been, engaged. So it means that we are anticipating a correction. We are anticipating a correction here. This is the correction that we are anticipating now to these two. So if that is what we are anticipating, then we are going to come here and try to see what is going to give us. So we are anticipating this correction, and what we are saying is that this would come here. That's 38. And so that is where we are likely to see our 4. So the reaction to occur here, and not more than the 50 if it's indeed a correction of that wave. So that is one thing that we have established. These loops, we have not done the 5. We are completely done with 3 in the green. So we want to do a 4 in the green. And after this 4, we're likely going to turn up. And that up, it may be truncated, it may break the top. We are going to follow the count, but that is still far for now. So that is what it looks like. Now, with that we have done, we can take that also to the other instrument, which is DXY. We can take that to DXY. Because the 4 that we thought it's probably, if we say this is 1 and a 2 and a 3, and it's going to be 4, the 4 and the 50 had been taken here. So those ones are not in play anymore. So we have to take about these 2 here, which is the major 2 here. It means that these 3 will come to this point as a 3, which has been completed as a 3, and we've not done the 5 in the green. So the 4 is what we are looking at now. Not this 4. So that's the 4 we are looking at now. So we want to do this 4 now. And we did 2 here, the same thing that we did from wave 2, which is here. Now we expect that we should be seeing the 4 around 38. That's the space. We are expecting that 4 in that area. And it shouldn't go beyond this 50. So that is what we are anticipating now. And we are going to take that also to the just we are trying to, is because it's live. I'm just doing this live now. So we are going to look at the last one, which is the euro dollar. This might actually fall within the fourth wave of this one here. So, but this is where we expect a turn to the upside again for the DXY. So if you look at euro dollar now, and that's where we're going to finish our analysis. I won't be coming back to those other ones again. So looking at euro dollar, at the purple here is where we had that turn. The black here, this is where 2 is. So, and if we take that as the possible point from the black, which is the 2, down to the purple, which is here, then our 4 should be around this blue, 38, which is very close to 2 here. 38 and not more than here, which is the 50. So this is where we expect to see a wave 4. We are anticipating a wave 4 in this area. That is what we are anticipating now. I haven't said that we are going to dip more into to this structure that we anticipate to come here before we see the last leg of 5 that may be truncated. And what you want to do is to look for, let's see what we want to do now. In this kind of a movement, this is where we are going. And we expect that to even violate this trend line, probably violate it or not. But this is the area we expect the price to get to. It would have broken the last structure, because the last structure, let me quickly show you the last 4-hour structure. So the last 4-hour structure is actually this one between here and here. So that's the last structure, the 4-hour structure. You can see a move, 1, 2, and a 3. So this is the last structure. So it wouldn't even have violated it. It might break it a bit to the upside or not, but this is the last place that price should get to before you know that we're in a bigger ABC correction. But now we are looking at this ABC correction as a potential big fall, and before we trust down. So let's move back inside and see on the 15 minutes time frame on how to, deal with this move. On a 15 minutes time frame, and this is exactly what you will see with others, these had gone really like a 5-wave to the upside: a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4, and a 5. So it's gone up like a 5-wave structure to the upside, where we probably saw an extension. So, and the whole of this move, because it's a single move. It is a single move and it's big. So it's impulsive. It's a single move and it's big. And what that can only mean is that it's suggestive of the fact that we may be having a B and a zigzag to the upside. This correction is big, and it's big for a big fall, not a small fall, because we have eroded the area of where we could have a small fall. So when you are having a zigzag, you should know that if we're having a zigzag, you know, and we're anticipating that if this has finished itself as an A, we are expecting a B. So, and a B in a zigzag, of course, will not go beyond 85 retracement of this entire run here. So we can have it from 50. If anybody has been selling here, 50 will be an area you want to exit. Which is 60 is around, 50 is around this area. 50 is around this area. 61, I think it's here. And this is around 78 retracement, where price could also get to give us, you know, a B before price moves up. But in terms of, let's do a trick. This is the trick I'm going to do. If we think that price should at least get to the area that we talked about, above as a possible area, let's look at it. It's just a trick. Let me use black on that. Let me use black on that. Now, assume we expect price to make an 100% extension and to get to this area. If you put this here, so you can see that in itself is very big gulf to fill. That is big gulf to fill. So looking at the possibility of price getting here, you know, it's very difficult for price to get here, and you know, because this one had finished itself. The only thing that can happen now is if this is going to do probably a shallow correction, not a deep correction. So I'm just going into your mind to see, because you know, this only just pull below the end of A, you can see. Just slightly below the end of A here in the blue. It's only pulled slightly below it. Something like that. So you can see it's just a few pips below it, the end of A. So what will push this very close to this area will be a shallow correction of a zigzag, which may not go beyond a 50 or a 61.8. We may not see a deep correction, but then the whatever is going to happen here. This will determine how high this is going to go, and eventually, assuming that it gets to this point of 50 retracement here, if it gets to this point of 50 retracement here, before we have a bounce to the upside, then you may be anticipating an 100 extension, maybe not more than that. Of course, the price may do a 123 to take people out before they come down. So I'm just going into the mind and, you know, trying to prepare you for anything. So, but the depth of correction may actually be shallow and not pull to this area. But if it pulls to this area, we will deal with it. It would only mean that they can even decide if the correction, one thing that the price wants to do, if they are going to have a deep correction like that, is that they tend to have a complex, more of a complex correction. So if this one is very deep to this point, and the other leg of the zigzag goes up like that, they might end up putting, like, instead of 3 swing to the upside, they might make it 7 swing and the last swing might just be a combination of flats to have the depth that is needed to come down. So they can do anything, but we'll see what they are trying to do at the end of the day. So if we come here, 100 is around this area and the 123 is around this edge. Of course, they can do that as well. They can do that as well, probably end it around this area if they decide to trust that. It doesn't have to reach 38.3. So it doesn't have to reach that. It can just be around this area, probably, and the price will begin to make a bearish move again. So it can be anything. So, but the clue, we want to be very careful selling now. That is what we are saying. This is a very sharp movement, and as impulse, then we are going to probably get an impulse, a correction, a flat in the middle, and an impulse again to make the fifth, the last C of that blue, A, B, and a C before we turn to the downside. So if I were you, I'll be looking at these to correct to the upside, because this might just be an A of B, a B of B might, turn out to be some kind of a flat, and we might have a C of B. Now, what are we likely to get? If we break out of here, I'm trying to go inside to expose a whole lot of stuff now. For now, how to plan your trade. This leg is done with. We want to execute B leg. So what do I expect? I expect that maybe this leg also is done. This leg had actually done an extension of probably 100 from here to this point. So now, again, you may want to see a possibility of a zigzag also in the middle and not a flat. It's not impossible. And they do a zigzag, and not a flat in the middle. Now, this is a 1 and a 2, and this is quite right for a 3, because this is actually 1.8. If I'm right, if I'm correct, let's look at 5 minutes time frame. I'm digging deep. Okay, so let's look at it from this point to this point. That's like a 78, so which is good for wave 2. Then to where we had this reaction, you cannot preempt. You can't say, oh, this is what is going to be at the end of the day. So you cannot until it turns out to be like that. So you can't trade every wave. So from okay to 2, then back here. So this is exactly on 161.8. Okay. So we add that turn exactly on 161.8, which qualifies this to be what? A wave 3. So they could have probably done a wave 3, a 4 and a 5 truncation here. So a 3, a 4, and a 5 truncation here. And this may complete what? Complete with A of B. With A of B. Now, what we signal that this wave is completed, since we are seeing this as wave 3, is that wave 4 must not be breached to the upside. Once that is breached, it means this thing is done. So otherwise, this could actually be a 5 of 3, and they are doing a 4 to do a 5 to break more down, maybe around this area, before they go up again to do a B of B and a C of B before they do the last B and C of blue. Now, I'm revealing too much secret, right? So now if we take this as the end of 2 of this A wave of B, and we come here, So we say 38, this is where 38 is, to make it a fourth wave. Once we break out of here and even break out of here 50, then we are done. So we are done with that way. So we are waiting. Are they going to still push this to the downside, or are they completely done? What we have here could pass for a five-way structure, and it could go for a five-way structure. It looks more like a five-way structure on the lower time frame. That's what I'm saying now. So once we now cross this border, this area of how many pips? Just 5 or 6 pips. So that would define that it's a new wave of B and not this wave anymore. It cannot be this wave anymore. It's probably we're not doing a new wave. And then so if you are doing a new wave, we are anticipating, if you are doing a new wave, what could it be where this wave can get to? If we are still in correction, it should not extend more than 161.8 of this move to the upside, and which will be around this area. So an extension from here to here, a 161.8 will be here, a 123 should be here. So whatever it is, we can now decide. You can now decide to trade the last wave of that C or B. You don't want to go for A, you don't want to go for B, because you need A and B to give you a C. So a C is more sure for you to trade. And when you are trading that C to the downside, you want to pick the C of this other leg, A, B, to the upside as well. So you need C to trade C. You need A, B, C, A, B of B to trade C of B. And once you complete that, you need where B will be, because now you have A and you have a big B to trade is the C. And once you trade the C, you can now trust down again. So that's how to plan very well, how to execute, so that you don't begin to waste your money anyhow, because you don't know where this is going to get to. But we need this completed. Once we break out of here, we actually need a 1 and 2, or A and B here, to break out to get a trend line. And once we break out of this trend resistance, then we can wait patiently to know where B is going to get to, and to confidently trade the C. So if it breaks above, then it cannot be a zigzag anymore. If it gets here, let's see. I think you can figure that out, because once we break here and confidently we break here, out of here, this trend, it means that this actually has ended. This is 61.8, this is 78, and this is between here and here. We'll still make this one a zigzag to the downside, which it could be. But once you break out of here, it can get to 90 and can still behave like a zigzag. But this is 123, and this is 161.8. And whatever it is, we'll see during the week where we are. And we can now plan to trade that C to the downside. Like I said, you don't chase this also up. You don't chase this up. It's important you know that you don't chase this up. If you miss it, you don't chase it up, except you probably know that this is what it's doing. So you don't chase it up, because price may still come down to you. And when it's coming down to you as a C, you must know it's coming down to you as a C or B, and you want to buy short to finish A, B, C in the blue to sell. So you must be able to know the direction that the price is making. And that is what we are anticipating for now, that we want to trade a C or B and go for a bigger C later to the upside. And when you are doing that, your stop loss must be narrow, because if it changes, then it changes. It's something else that is happening. So you must know that, so that you don't burn your account. And when the move also to the upside has breached this and has breached this area, then you should now know that, oh, it is not a 4 to 5 anymore. Maybe they have finished the 0, 3, and 4, also 3, 4, 5 here around this area, and they are doing a bigger ABC. But what is favored now from what we can see is not that it's a 4 of this immediate wave anymore. It can only be a 4 of a 2 to 3 to give us a 4. But we are going to wait for reaction here also to sell the 5th wave. And if we break here to the upside, then it's a bigger, much bigger correction that we're going to follow. So we'll continue to see this as it unfolds. I end here. Have a profitable week. Bye.